Good morning, guys. 21st of February. Let's get into some prep for today's session. So while I am going to be looking to take a few setups to the upside if the market does trail higher here at the open, overall, I'm prepared to take some shorts today. The reason behind that is that the market has slowly crept up here to that early December, early November, and early October major sell-off levels. So today's going to be a very important day for the market, whether or not we can power through those early December levels, or if we begin to see signs of weakness. In my opinion, if we don't power through here, if we don't see some strength to the upside, I think we could see some selling come in. So while I am going to look to take a few trades to the upside, bigger picture, guys, I'm going to put on some shorts if the SPY as well as the Qs fail to get above those levels. Now, you can play it a few different ways. You can play puts on the SPY, you can play puts on the Qs, or you can look to possibly play puts on, a few of the stronger names. So by far, one of the strongest names we've seen over the past month, 2 months, has been Netflix. Now, Netflix has continued to trade to the upside here, despite other names in tech starting to show signs of weakness. So even if Netflix does make a move this morning, makes one more attempt back towards 370, again, keep your eye on the overall market, but if things pull higher here this morning at the open, first hour of the session, and if we begin to slow down at that early December level, and it doesn't look like we're going to power through, and you start to see, things begin to fade, even if Netflix pulls up in the morning, really key level we want to watch, guys, is the top of the Bollinger Band here on the daily chart. Typically, the top of that Bollinger Band acts is a pretty solid level of resistance, regardless of how strong a stock has been. So, any individual stock, taking a trade in that individual stock is all about timing it with the move of the overall market. So with Netflix being at the top of its Bollinger Band here, and with the SPY and the Qs being at such critical levels, this is definitely a setup you want to pay attention to, guys. If we pull up higher this morning, and then you see signs of weakness coming in, you see signs of a fade and an eventual pullback coming in, beautiful opportunity to buy some puts here on Netflix at the top of that Bollinger Band range. So that's kind of my major focus heading into today is the short side. I'm really going to focus on the SPY in the Qs up there at those December levels. Now, in terms of, opportunities that we can play to the upside, still want to be prepared for that. There is a good chance the market can continue its move back up to the upside this morning, and possibly we can go and test yesterday's highs. So major level that I'm going to focus on here, guys, for the SPY, the Qs, as well as Netflix is the hourly chart, utilizing those Bollinger Bands. And as you can see right now, guys, so I have the pre-market data on. I have the extended hours info on here. So the SPY, the Qs, and Netflix are all finding support at the midpoint of that Bollinger Band. So you got the SPY finding support there this morning. Take a look at the Qs. Qs are finding support there this morning as well. And then Netflix, which actually got pushed below there yesterday, looks like it could be set to make a breakout above the midpoint of that Bollinger Band today. So in terms of potential long trades, we can take a look at the SPY, Netflix, the Qs, and we can put together a game plan to possibly take some trades around that midpoint of that Bollinger Band. So the reason I like this, guys, is if the market does pull up today, very good likelihood that we pull up here from that mid-Bollinger Band back up to the top of that range. So very possible this morning that we see Netflix make a move up towards 365 before another potential pullback. Very likely that we could see the SPY make a move back up to, back up towards 280 and then right back down. So that midpoint of that Bollinger Band on the hourly chart is going to be my focus this morning. Same thing for the Qs. You could easily see a pull up back to that 173 range, and then the pullback comes in. So that's kind of my initial focus today, guys. I'm going to utilize the hourly chart for the SPY, the Qs, and Netflix here this morning. And while I am going to look to maybe take some potential trades to the upside if the market is showing signs of strength, so if the market is looking good at the open, if the SPY and the Qs begin to trade away from that mid-Bollinger Band, I'll gladly take a breakout trade above that mid-Bollinger Band here on Netflix, using a pullback back below it as my exit with a profit target of a move up here towards that level at the top of the Bollinger Band. So Those are the setups that I may look to exploit here early in the session, but in terms of the bigger picture setups, guys, the setups that I'd ideally want to put more capital into today, I'm going to practice some patience and just see how the market reacts if we get back up to that level. If we see signs of weakness, I'm going to be very prepared to buy some puts and then just simply, guys, let it ride out. If we get a failed breakout here again today and we begin to pull back, I'm going to buy some puts somewhere in this range, and then it's a simple game plan from there. If it pulls back up and actually breaks out of that level, I'll take those puts off for a loss. However, with the market being so overbought, with the moving averages on the monthly charts for the SPY and the Qs still pointing to the downside, with us being at that very critical sell-off level, and with us again being extended at the top of that Bollinger Band on the daily chart, I like my odds going short here. So I would look to take a few day trades this morning to the upside if the environment is suitable, but bigger picture today, guys. Pay attention to the SPY, pay attention to the Qs, and be prepared to take a short puts on a failed attempt to get back above that level today.